So listen, I've fallen for this too. I don't want to make sure you do not fall for this at all. Let's get into it right after the jump. And I am back. What is up? Chana D, your Techno Dad here. And first things first, I want to make sure I thank my patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. You guys make it possible for me to make cool content like this and get all that extra gear that I just can't get sent to me. And yes, if you want to become a patron and directly impact the channel in a positive way, make sure you become a patron. Link is down in the description. All right, so what are we talking about today? We're talking about apples and oranges in respects to how people compare gear when they're going to shop for it. Now, I did a comparison of the Denon X6700H along with the Marantz SR7015, and I got a lot of complaints. Well, I don't know about the complaints, but some of you out there were saying, hey, shouldn't you be comparing the Denon 6700 to the Marantz 8015? And in my mind, I'm like, why would I do that? That's like $800 more. Whereas the 7015 was $200 less than the Denon 6700. So in my mind, if we want to compare apples to apples, price is the determining factor. Now, some people were like, well, the Denon 6700 and the Marantz SR 8015 have the same feature set. So what is it? Do you compare based on feature set or price? Now, for me, it's price, right? But some of you out there are saying, well, you know, an apples to apples comparison would be comparing two products that have the same feature set. And so I was like, okay, let's think about this a little bit. Now, I've made videos about the 2020 AVRs from Marantz and from Denon. And so if you go back through my videos, you can see exactly what these things cost back in the day when they were released. Now, that isn't the case now, but here's what we have for Denon. As you can see, the Denon 3700 was only $11.99, the 4700 was $16.99, and the 6700 was $24.99. Now, in all aspects, like, these are pretty good prices, especially now. Like, the Denon 6700 is going for $3,099, which is a huge jump. Oh, and by the way, if you guys need pricing and availability on any Denon or Marantz AV receivers, make sure you shoot me an email or contact the team at Dream Media and we'll get you sorted. So now let's check out the pricing of the Marantz AVRs from 2020. The SR6015 comes in at $15.99. The 7015 comes in at $22.99, and the 8015 comes in at $3,199. So in my mind, the SR7015 is $22.99. The Denon 6700H is $24.99, $200 apart. I would say those are the two AVRs to compare. Now, of course, everybody else was saying, okay, well, 6700H should be compared to the SR8015. Now, if we look at the specs on them, yeah, spec-wise, they are comparable. However, at a $700 price difference, to me, that's not an apples to apples comparison because it costs so much more. So let's talk about the car analogy because I bring this up a lot. And let's just add a couple more zeros onto these numbers, right? So if you were looking for a car that's $25,000, you know, yeah, you probably look at cars in the $22,000 to maybe $27,000, $28,000 price range. Would you all of a sudden be like, oh, there's this one for $32,000? Probably not. Probably not. And we're talking about AV receivers, like a $700 or $800 price difference is pretty big, right? When you're talking about cars, an $8,000 to $10,000 price difference, pretty big. Like, you wouldn't just be like that. And for the most part, cars, yeah, kind of have the same features, right? Thing drives, got 2 doors or 4 doors or whatever it is you're looking for. Probably going to have the same feature set. So why in electronics do we compare these two things? You know why? It's because of the marketing and it's because of your salesperson. Oh, well, you know, this Marantz 8015 does everything the Denon does, but it's better because it's the Marantz and it costs more because it's the Marantz. And it's their flagship. And I see this all the time in the DJ world, right? The flagship Pioneer DJ CDJ 3000 is like $2,200, but the flagship Denon SC6000 is $1,600. Now, would you compare those two things? I mean, the price difference is pretty big, $600 per unit, right? Or would you compare the $1,600 Denon to whatever Pioneer has at $1,600. In which case, the Denon will blow it out of the water because you get more bang for your buck with the Denon because, Pioneer just costs a lot more. And all these people have to do is put that word in front of it. It's our flagship receiver, right? It's our flagship. Once you put flagship in front of it, all bets are off. But really, you should be comparing the Denon X8500H to the Marantz SR8015, which I already know, like the Denon cost about the same at that time, right? At that time. Now, everything's totally different. But we are talking about what the prices were when these things were released to get an apples to apples comparison. Now, one of the guys is like, okay, well, apples to apples in my mind is feature set. If it's the same feature set, okay, so let's run down that rabbit hole. Let's look at, I want a 9-channel AV receiver and I want Direct Live. Okay, great. We have the Onkyo RZ50 at $13.99. We have the Pioneer LX505, which I have upstairs, at $14.99. And we have the NAD T778, right? All three of them are, 9-channel AV receivers. They all use Direct Live. I think you can actually add Direct Live bass control to the NAD, so that is different. But the NAD costs $3,000. So if you were a consumer and you were shopping for a 9-channel AVR with like some good room correction, would you even consider the NAD if it's double the price as the other two? Chances are no, because you already have a, set budget. You're like, okay, I don't want to spend over $2,000. So then to me, this apples to apples comparison of feature set doesn't even make any sense. What do you think? You tell me what you think. And if you are one of those people, congratulations, you have been successfully marketed to. And that's not a bad thing. I used to fall for that all the time. But let's get one thing straight. If you're looking for a pair of speakers, you have a budget in mind. You're not just going to buy, speakers, you can spend $300,000, you can spend $20. So what is your price range for the speaker that you're trying to buy, right? If somebody says, hey, I got $600, which speaker should I be looking at? Oh, yeah, Klipsch RP 600M, or maybe even those ELACs, the Unifies, something in that price range. You want to just be like, oh, yeah, here's these, SVS Ultra bookshelves at $1,000. Whoa. I only want to spend $600. So when people say like, oh, no, you should compare this and this because their, feature set is the same, but their price is totally different, then I think they're missing the mark, unless they just have so much money that it doesn't matter what price it comes into. In which case, hey, what are you even talking about? $1,500 receiver. You should be buying the $4,000 or $8,000 processor. You know what I'm saying? This has been on my mind for quite some time, and I will definitely be comparing those three up there. That's a Marantz, that's a Denon, and that's a Yamaha, because now all of them are $3,000. So this is a little precursor to that video. Don't compare electronics on their feature set. Put them in price brackets and then compare them by feature set. As you can see up on screen, the Denon 6700 and the Marantz SR8015 have pretty much the same features. 11 channels of power, 13 channels processing, 140 watts into 8 ohms for 2 channels driven. They both have DTS:X Pro, but the price is different. $24.99 versus $31.99. Now, obviously, the Denon has more for the money, right? Best bang for your buck. If you like the Marantz sound, then you're going to have to pay that Marantz tax. You know what I'm saying? And I can only imagine what the price is of the SR8015 now after this whole shipping thing, the DAC fire, the chipset, the thing missing, a lot of stuff going on. So I would say, if you are shopping for any kind of electronics, make sure you make an apples to apples comparison, meaning compare the models in your price range. Don't just be like, oh, I'm buying this car for like $15,000. Oh, what about this one for $25,000? Yeah, okay. Yeah, doesn't make any sense at all. At all. But I want to know what you guys think. What is an apples to apples comparison in your mind? Is it two products in the same price category, or two products that have the same features, but one could be like double the price? You tell me in the comments below. Quick video for you guys. This has been on my mind for quite some time. I just wanted to get it out there for you. And yes, I got a lot more content on the way. Now that I can walk and carry stuff, I got a TV coming in here soon, and I can't wait to check out all the new electronics for 2022. Anyway, that's it. See you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.